Okay, good morning. This is Rabbi Shlomo First here. You see the Tsama Nafshi Yerushalyim HaKodesh. I am temporarily substituting for Rabbi Reuven Levitt, who's usually giving this Gemora share at this time of day. Right? He's busy with some important activities for the Yeshiva. So we're learning Gemora now, Bava Kama, Daf Hey, Daf Mem Vav Amud Aleph. We'll start with the Mishnah Shor Shemogel Esapar. And please join us here in Yeshiva's Tsama Nafshi when you come to Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalyim especially. We'd like to help enrich your visit and your life and lifestyle here with as much as Torah as possible. Okay, let's go. We would like to read the Gemora and start the Gemora and the Gemora. Read the Mishnah and the Gemora for us.
Okay. Shor Shenigach Es Hapara, an ox that gored a cow. Animtsa Ubra, and they found a fetus, Bitsida, at its side. Ve'ein Yodua im ad shalo negacha yalda, and it's not known if it was born before the goring. Im mishenegacha yalda, or it was gored mishalem chetzi.
So again,
or it was gored, I guess, after the birth.
Right. I mean, so you have a shore that there's some facts that we know and some facts that we don't know. We know that in fact that the shore, the ox, did gore the cow, and apparently we knew that para was in fact pregnant before the goring, and after the goring, we see that there is a uber on the side of the gored cow. What it's not known, the variable is, the doubtful aspect of our case in front of us is whether or not it was before the goring the birth occurred, or it was from after the goring that the birth occurred. We don't know.
Right, so if it was before, then we would say that the baby, the fetus, was part of the goring, and therefore would be involved in the payment. But if it was after, then we would say it had nothing to do with the goring, and therefore would not be involved in the payment.
Yep.
So when it says Mishalem Chetzi Nezek, the para or vi Nezek the Vlad, what it's saying is that for the cow, there's no question we're going to do Chetzi Nezek. But for the Vlad, since it's either it's paying Chetzi or it's paying 0, we're going to compromise and we're going to say it pays a quarter. V'chein para shenikcha es hashur. And similarly, if a cow gored an ox, v'nimtza vlada bitsida, and we find a baby beside the cow. Ve'ein yadua im ad shalo nagcha yalda, and we don't know if the baby was born before the cow gored the ox. Im mishe negcha yalda, or if it was from the goring was after the baby was born. Mishtalem chetzi nezek min hapara. He pays half of the value of the cow. Uravi nezek min havlad, and a quarter of the damage from the baby. So it would seem to be the same exact conclusion. that if the cow was the one that gored, and we don't know if the baby was not born yet, in which case it would be part of the goring, or it was born already, in which case it would have nothing to do with it. So we're going to do half of the half for the baby. So the baby, we're going to take a quarter for the baby. Now I have one just technical question here.
Okay.
When we say chetzi nezek, we're talking about, let's say take the second case, where the cow gores the ox. So the damage is the value of the ox. So when we say chetzi nezek, we're saying half of the value of the ox.
Okay.
So when this says half of the cow and a quarter of the baby, that's not the value of the ox, that's the value of the cow and the baby.
Right. Okay.
So let's say the ox was worth $500. And let's say the cow was worth $400. And the baby was worth, let's say, $100. So half of the cow is $200, half and quarter of the baby is $25.
Right.
So that would come to $225. But the ox is worth, half of the ox is $250.
Okay.
So what would we say? We'd say, well, he pays $225 because that's all he's got?
Basically, yeah. That'll be the question as to whether or not the perpetrator, the goring ox or cow, is a Tsama or a Mu'id. There's a difference in payment scheduling, whether it's a Tsama or a Mu'id.
Right, but I'm just assuming it's a Tom for this question.
Right. Yeah,
I'm just trying to understand how the Hetzi relates to the ox. Let's say we change the case and the cow was now worth $600.
Right.
So half of 600 is 300.
Right.
And 25 would be 325. That's more than 250.
Right.
So would we say that he just pays 250?
Yeah, well, he's only going to pay, he's only going to pay for what the damage was. Now, it could be that sometimes that the value of the cow that did the goring is not going to be sufficient to pay for the payment, but they're not going to have more payment than the damages that actually took place.
Right, so that's just, taking the half and the quarter is just to establish the pool of money that's available, but the actual payment actually comes from the ox.
Right. The amount of the actual
versa.
payment will be derived from the damage to the victim. How much will actually be? There's the amount of damage, and there's the amount that can be collected, and maybe not always the same.
Right. Okay.
Good.
Good. Continue?
Yeah, sure.
Amar.
Rabbi Levitt's become our nose this afternoon. You didn't lasso him, you didn't boomerang him.
Are you a
Haven't used the boomerang in a while.
Do you know how to use a boomerang? No? You're from Australia, you're supposed to.
You probably can't wrestle a kangaroo either.
Can't wrestle a kangaroo? No?
Boomerangs are different.
That's what I understand. But I don't know how to use them.
I tried one before.
Okay. Gemora.
Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, the name of Shmuel, Zo Divrei Sumchus. This is the opinion of Sumchus. So this must refer to the Mishnah, the opinion that's stated in the Mishnah.
Right. Rabbi Levitt, anytime you're ready to
Ready.
take the seat. Okay. Come on.
See you back.
Yeah, good to be back. Thank you.
How you doing?
Hey, so we're just, we reviewed the Mishnah, and we just started reading the Gemora.
Good.
Very good. So take it away, gentlemen. Who has the honors?
So we just read that the Mishnah's opinion, which is that we split the value of the Vlad, right, is the opinion of Sumchus.
Right.
Damar, that Sumchus said, Mamon hamutal,
Maman
hamutal, bisafek cholkin.
Right.
And money that stands in doubt is divided.
It's placed. It comes from the word tilif, mutal.
It's placed in there. That's placed in there. Aval Hachamim Omrim, but the sages say, Zek Klal, this is the rule, Gadol Badin. This is a major rule in judgment.
Yes.
Hamotzi Mechavero Alav Haraya.
Yeah.
The one who wants to extract money is obligated to provide the proof.
Yes.
So they would say, since this is a case where we don't know,
Yeah.
therefore there's zero. Zero comes from the blood. You only take the value of the mother in both cases of the mission.
Good.
Lama li lememar ze klal gadol bedin. Why do I need to say, or why is it necessary to say, this is the major rule of din, of judgment?
What's the Gemara's question?
It could have just said, this is the rule. Why does it say this is the major rule? Why is that extra wording?
Should have just said, so what should have just said? Hamim Omrim,
Hamotzi
Hamotzi
Melavaraya.
Lavaraya.
Period.
Right.
So there must be something additional beyond the simple understanding of what that phrase means. In other words, there's more than just to say that you would get nothing for the blood. There's maybe some other case or some other broader application of this rule.
Right. Right. Those words are coming to teach us something in addition to the fact that Hamotzi Mechavera Olavaraya. That's what's behind this question. The Gemora doesn't see what exactly is right. The Gemora just asks the question in order to open the issue. So what is it? So why is it there? Obviously, we know that there's a reason why the Chachamim said that. Of course, they don't say things for nothing. Of course, but why did they need to say it?
Right.
We know they said it for a reason. What's the reason? Okay. What's it coming to teach us?
Hitztrich. It is needed. De'afilu nizak omer bari u mazik omer shema. That even in a case where the damaged party says, "I'm certain of the situation," and the damaging party says, "I'm not sure." Hamotzi mechaver alav haraya. Even in that case, we still say that that he has to bring proof. You might think that we would say, well, if one is certain and the other says maybe, then we give it to the one who's certain. We're saying no, we don't do that. We say the one who's claiming, even if he's not sure, and the other one is certain, we still say he's got to. I'm saying the other way around. Even if he's certain and the other one is not sure, we still say he has to bring proof.
Right. We might have thought to say that the only time we say that he's got to prove his case is when both of them are saying Bori. He's saying Bori that it was like this, and he's saying Bori that it was like that. Oh, he's opposing you. He's opposing you, so you got to prove your case. Oh, if he's not opposing you, so you don't need to have a proof in that case. Maybe so. No. Zeklal Godel Bedin. Even in this case, we say he's got to bring a proof. Even in this case, he's got to bring a proof. That's what Godel Bedin is coming to teach us. Good, Roy. It's good. Okay. And now, the Gemora wants to bring another answer, an alternative answer to the question of what do we need this Zeglav Bedin that the Rabbanim will say.
Inami, alternatively, lechi ha de itmar. In accordance with this, which is stated, ha mocher mechshor lechavero, if one sells an ox to his friend, v'nimtza nigchan, and it is found that the ox is a goring ox, does that mean it's a muad?
Yeah.
Okay. So
No. Oh, that's a good question. In other words, when we say nagchen, well, yeah, no, that would be like you're saying, Chora. That would be like we're saying, because until it has actually been proved and testified in Bezdin that it did it 3 times, we don't regard the animal as a goring animal.
Right.
We say, on the first time we say, he got out of the wrong side of the bed that morning. That could happen to anybody. That doesn't mean that he's a nagchen. The fact that he gores once. And even we say the same thing twice. Okay, he had another bad day. A person could have 2 bad days. Right?
3 strikes.
3? Oh, no. That already tells us this animal, the teva of the animal, the nature of the animal is to gore. It's a nagchen. So, l'chora, when we say it's a nagchen, we mean to say it's a muad. So according to that, what you're asking is, well, that means that the seller knows that the animal is a nagchen, and he did not reveal this to the buyer. Okay. Was he allowed to do that? Of course not. But he'll tell you, I thought you were selling. I thought you wanted to buy it for shkita. You look like a guy that likes a nice juicy steak. I didn't think it was necessary to tell you that it was a nagchen. What's the difference?
Steak from a nagchen is just as the same as a steak from the top.
Yeah, just as juicy. That texture, right?
But what does it mean when it says the nimtza, it's found to be? Does that imply that they didn't know before?
Well, nimtza, right? It implies that somebody didn't know before.
Somebody
Who didn't
buyer,
know before?
but not the seller. The seller had to know.
I'm trying to figure out a case. Maybe the commentator say some type of a crazy case that he didn't know. I don't know.
Well, don't we say that since an ox that gores needs to be killed, then it must be that the ox ran away to the swamp? So could it be that maybe the ox came back and got mingled into the herd and the seller wasn't sure which ox it was?
Okay, you're making up a crazy case. Fine. It's possible. Anything's possible. Everything is possible.
Well, but it can't be.
The question would be like this. Of course, anything is possible. The question would be, is it going to change this din that he knew? I don't think it's going to change the din. The issue of whether he was required to inform the buyer that this animal is a nagchen, that could be a matter of onas mammon. You're not allowed to cheat people. Okay, so he cheated the guy. So he's going to get an avera. Right? But is it going to affect the din over here? Is it going to affect the din of Hamotzi Mechaber Olav Araya? Whether you hold a Hamotzi Mechaber Olav Araya or you hold, we'll see. I mean, the Gemora is saying this is the case. Will you still say Hamotzi Mechaber Olav Araya?
Right.
Even though the guy cheated him.
Right. Okay. Rav said, Hare zeh mekach taros.
Yeah.
Behold, this is a invalid sale.
Why is it an invalid sale?
Because it was under false pretenses. The buyer expected that he was buying a Tom, and it turned out to be a muad. He says, I wasn't paying you for a muad. You should have told me.
Well, the issue over here is even if it be a muad, it still makes no difference if the sale was for shchita. If the sale was for shchita, the issue over here is there's a suffix over here. There wasn't communication between the parties what the sale was for. Was it for shchita? Was it for ridya? The Gemora is going to say this, right? The Rashi is the one that says
I
that.
think the Gemora says it.
Okay,
He's
so
going to say, I
let's,
sold it to you for slaughter.
okay, so let's just read the words and translate. He
Okay.
says, right, okay.
Alright, so, the Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says, Yachol sheyomar lo, lishchita mikar tivach.
Right.
For slaughter I sold it to you. So,
1 second, you didn't translate the first part of the sentence, which is very important.
he's able to say.
Yeah. Yochol shia amrlo.
He's able to say to him. So the
What do you mean he's able to say to him? He
seller
has the
is
he
able
has
to say to
the
the buyer.
koach. We will accept him to say this to him.
Uh-huh.
The Beis Din will accept that. They'll accept that as his excuse. The guy's saying, you sold me a wild, goring animal. And according to this opinion, the seller is Yochol Shia Amrlo. He is able to respond to that complaint and say, I thought you were buying it for shechita.
Right.
And if so, then there's no harm done in the fact that it is a nagchen. Because a nagchen is a perfectly acceptable animal for purposes of shechita. Right, Roy? So in this case, according to Shmuel over here, what's going to be the din with this animal? Is it a mekaktos?
No, it's a good sale.
No mekaktos. No mekaktos. Okay.
Why? Why?
One second. Now let's read the Rashi.
Oh.
Inami lechiho.
If so, for what is this? Lechi, for what is this? Is that what that means?
Yeah, this was this. It's a very unusual expression over here.
Oh,
that the Gemara
in accordance
uses.
with what? Okay, if so, in accordance with what? Diachol, that he is able, Lomar, to say, Lishchita, for slaughter, Mikartiv, I sold Lecha to you. Ba'achal Gav, and even though De'ika, that there is, Lememar, to say, Zil, go, Basar, after Rova, the majority, meaning in the majority of cases, the person would buy an ox for plowing, not for slaughter. Barova the Ridia Kizavni, I don't know what that means.
Okay, Ruba means in the majority.
Right.
Leridia, for plowing.
Oh, for
Kazavani,
plowing.
the animals are sold.
Kizavani, sold.
The svina is a sale or a purchase. It's the same word. It's just you got to know the grammar.
Right. Well, it's also mekach. We're using mekach.
Mekach means a transaction.
Okay. And this actually means a
Because
sale.
avani means Rashi's referring to they're sold or they're bought for this purpose. In a majority of cases, they're sold and bought for this purpose of vidya, of plowing.
V'hayu mekach taos. V'have, and it is an invalid sale.
Why is it an invalid sale if in rove cases the animal is sold for plowing?
Because we would assume that the buyer intended to buy it for plowing, and therefore we would say that the seller is not able to say, I thought you wanted it for shechita, because the majority doesn't want it for shechita, and if nothing is said, you would assume, according to the majority, is what the intention was.
Right. Good. Very good.
Ashma'ina, and we derive masnisin, we derive from our Mishnah the ho'il, that even, that since the nakit mochar dami, the nakit mochar is a transaction.
Mocher is the seller.
The seller.
Mechira is a sale. Mekach is a transaction. Mocher is the one that does the selling.
Okay, what is the
Nakit, that he's holding.
that the seller is holding dummy like
Money.
pardon?
The money.
The money.
Dummy is the money.
Dummy is holding the money. The seller is holding the money. The seller is holding the money.
He's
Seller has
holding the money in his hand because the
hand.
buyer already gave him over the money. And he took his animal.
Hava lay. There is to him idak.
Who's Idach?
Idak. I don't know.
Idach means the other one. We just got through mentioning the mocher. So Rashi is saying, since the mocher is holding the money,
There is
Habilei,
to the other
Idach,
one, the seller, the buyer,
right?
Motzi mechavero alav haraya. He has the obligation to bring a proof because he wants to take the money away from the seller. So he just said both sides. First Rashi said we go according to the road, and then he said,
Rashi said?
Right. Didn't he say we go according to the road in the beginning?
Read it again. Afogah. The
Even
Iklamema.
though that there is to say, go after the majority, and the majority wants to plow, and therefore it's an invalid sale, we learn from our Mishnah that it's not that way.
We're not really learning from the Mishnah. This is actually a
What's masnisim?
true. Masnisin means Mishnah,
Right?
and I have in my this is why I have this. One of the reasons why I have this is that the Rishash is one of the commentaries in the back. He corrects this statement, or it's the Rishal actually. He says it's not Masnisin, it's Masnisa, which is referring to tonight's statement, which is not found in a Mishnah. Either it's a Brisa or it's a Tosefta. Masnisin is Mishnah, Masnisa is tonight's statement outside of the Mishnah.
So he's saying there's some other source that we don't know about.
Well, it's the Gemora brought it. Right?
This is what, the statement of Rav?
This is the statement that Rav is bringing in the name of the Chachamim. Zeh klal gadol b'din. This here is a klal gadol when it comes to din. Motzi mechaber olav araya. And now the Gemora is saying that we're answering the question of why the Chachamim need to say Zeh klal gadol b'din in an alternative way, and we're saying Lehi ha de itmar, according to that which is stated in this Machlokes Amoraim in regard to the sale, that Shmuel says that the seller could say, I sold it to you for purposes of shchita. That is the pshat in the Chachamim when they say klal gadol b'din. that even in that case, you're going to say Motzi Mechaber Lavaraya, even though it's going against the road. We'll say Motzi Mechaber Lavaraya, even though you're going against the road. The Rov says that it's a Mekaktos. That's what Rashi said over here. Afogav the Ikra Memar, even though it could be said very eloquently, that this over here is a Mekaktos. This person, he bought the animal, and the Rov says that he bought it for purposes of plowing. And if so, then this Nagchem that he received is a Mekaktos, because it's unacceptable for plowing. Mekaktos. And that, the Gemora is saying, that is another pshat in the lashon of the Chachamim when it says Zeh Klal Gadol B'Din. This is a major principle in Din Amotz Mechaber Lavaraya, meaning to say that we're going to say Amotz Mechaber Lavaraya even in a case where the Rov is supporting the Motzi, the one who wants to take out money. The Rov says that he should be able to get his money back, because the Rov says that this was a mistaken transaction. In a mistaken transaction, you get your money back.
I'm confused because
And what does Shmuel say over here? He says that the seller could say to him, I sold it to you for purposes of shchita. He could say it to him, meaning that we'll accept that defense. And now what's going to happen if the Beis Din accepts the offense, the defense, the reply of the mocher? They're going to now turn to the buyer and say to him, sorry, you're going to have to prove to us that this sale was for purposes of plowing. Do you have a proof? Everybody buys it for plowing. The majority of people buy for plowing. That's true. That's the Rov is not a proof. The Rov is not a proof. You have witnesses that you agreed between one another that the sale is for plowing? No, you don't have that. So therefore, you don't have any proofs. Therefore, you're not gonna get the money out of the buyer. Out of the seller. Okay.
So in other words, Rashi is basically telling us both positions. First, he's saying that what Rav's position is, and that is we go by Rov. And then he's saying what Shmuel's position is, which is Hamotzi Chaveru Alavaraya.
Rashi's not simply relating to us the other possibility. Rashi's pointing out that that's what makes this a Klal Gadol B'Din. What makes this klal of a Motzi Mechaber Lavaraya a klal gadol b'din? That we say this din even in a case where an accepted legal principle such as rov, which is very often used in order to resolve a doubt in din. We don't resolve the issue according to that. Even in this case, we say a Motzi Mechaber Lavaraya. That makes this klal of a Motzi Mechaber Lavaraya a klal gadol. Because afogav, says Rashi, even though that there is a rov against the mocher, we're still going to accept this claim of the mocher, and we're going to turn to the buyer sorry, you're going to have to prove your case. That's why Rashi mentions this side of going according to the road. It says afogav, he's pointing out that even though there's another legal principle over here that we often use to resolve a dispute such as this, where we don't have a proof one way or the other. Well, according to the road. So we're saying here that when it comes to money, and somebody wants to take money out from the mocher, he's going to have to bring a proof. A robe is not good enough. Oh, a robe is not good enough. So the mocher is going to be able to make this lame excuse that he sold it to the person for purposes of shchita. Yes. Yeah. That's how far this klal of Motzim Mechaber Lov Araya extends. That's what makes it a klal gadol. It extends even to this case. And Rashi is explaining us what's the big deal about it that we're going to say even in this case. The big deal about it is because there's an accepted legal principle such as going according to the road to resolve a dispute. Go according to the majority. Nope, not when it comes to money. Say the Chachamim, Motzim Mechaber Lov Araya, Ze Klal Gadol. This is the inami. This is the second answer that we say. To explain why the Chachamim are saying Ze Klal Gadol B'din. We're showing you how far this klal extends. How far-reaching it extends. Even in a case where we could have very well thought to go according to the very well-accepted legal principle of going according to the majority of cases. We don't know what the sale for. This was for. Let's go according to the majority. In the majority of cases, the sale is for purposes of ridya, of plowing. If so, according to that, then it's a clear mekak tos, because there's no doubt that an animal which is a nagchin is unacceptable for plowing. So if we would go according to the road, so then the buyer would be able to undo the transaction and get his money back. On this, the Gemora is saying that no, in this case, even here the Chachamim will say, Amotzim Mechaber Olav Araya, because that's what they meant when they said Zeh Klal Gadol B'din. Roy, is this clear? Probably? No,
Is it already clear?
When I say is it clear, it's definitely clear. But I want to know if it's clear to you. You think that it's clear? Okay. Kacha kacha. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This word masnisa,
Yeah.
is that referring to Zeh Klal in?
That's referring to the statement of the Chachamim. Yeah. In other words, the Chachamim and Rabbi Yehuda Mar Shmuel is saying over a machlekes between Sumchus and Chachamim. And Rashi says that machlekes Sumchus and Chachamim is a masnisa. Apparently, it doesn't appear in a Mishnah, at least according to the Rav Shlomo Luria, the relative of the Arizal. That's the proof that the Arizal was probably an Ashkenazi.
Well, I thought he was a Sephardi.
There's a machlokes about it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I always thought he was like the
There's a
ultimate.
machlokes about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, how he ended up in Egypt is for an Ashkenazi to end up in Egypt is a little bit hard to understand. But that's the side that he was not an Ashkenazi. According to his name is an Ashkenazi name.
I see. Interesting. So structurally, we have a statement that Zek Klal Gadol Bedin refers to when one is Bari and one is Shem. And then it says,
Right.
Inami, alternatively,
Right.
it has to do with Rove versus Hamotzi Chaveru Alavaraya. So are we saying that it's both of these, or it's one or the other?
Ah. That's a tough question. I'll answer the question like this. Are we forced to say that the first answer of the Gemora is arguing with the second answer? That the second answer argues with the first answer?
I don't think so.
No.
I think we could say they're both true.
Klal Gadol Bedin, even if he's boring Hishema, and even if it's against the road. There's no reason to assume that they're arguing with one another. Sometimes in Inami though, Inami doesn't necessarily mean that they agree with one another. Okay, Bezrat Hashem, Roy.
Take care, Roy.
Hope to see you tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem.
Yeah, I think so.
Well done. Okay. Should we go on?
Yeah. Go on.
Come on. Why? So now we're questioning.
Oh, actually, maybe this time is up.
Yeah.
I mean, the time is up.
I think I'm filling up the stand. You gonna be here too?
Yeah.
I think I'll try to say.